So here we are, 6.1c, college algebra, the parabola. I'm getting ready to start on example number 4, using the formula that I have here on the left-hand side of my screen from page 529. So for this one, we're going to use y squared minus 2y minus 8x minus 31 equals 0. Okay, so there's the equation. And for this equation, we're going to look at using this formula down here. And again, we're using that formula because this is a y squared. If this were an x squared, we'd be using this formula with an x minus h, the quantity squared. But we're going to use y minus k, the quantity squared, which means we're going to complete the square. So again, we're going to get all of this to the other side, leave a space, equals 8x plus 31. Okay, so half of this term right here and square it. So we're going to have a plus 1 here and a plus 1 over here on this side, which gives me a y squared minus 2y plus 1 equals 8x plus 32. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and write it as y, and again this sign comes down, minus 1, and that equals, we're going to factor out a, well, let's factor out an 8. Okay. Now, again, looking at this over here, we have to have a 4 times something here. Have to. So I'm going to change this 8 to a 4 times 2 so that I have my 4 and I have my p-value. Oops. Let's change that to a 4 times x plus 4. Alright, now let's put it in this format right there. Notice this is a minus sign. Well, that's a minus sign, so we're good. That's a minus sign, but this is a plus, so we're going to have to make a little bit of change there. So we'll leave everything as is here. We'll leave our 4 and our 2, but I'm going to have to change this to an x minus a negative 4, just to make sure that I have a minus there and a minus there. So then that means that my h is going to be minus 4, and my k is going to be my 1 there. So make sure that you realize in this one here that one of the things that's different is, now this has got the x squared and this has the y squared, but notice my h and k have been switched here. So don't get that confused and call this number here, this 1, your h, because it's your k. So that being the case, let's move all this stuff up here. And let's go with naming these. So my vertex is going to be hk, which in this case my hk is going to be negative 4, 1. Okay, so I've got a negative 4 here and I've got a 1 here. Notice this has got a minus sign. I don't take the sign, I just take the number. Here I don't take this minus sign, I just take the number, and in this one the number is a negative 4. So that's why I took the negative 4 here and the positive 1 here. My focus is going to be, let's write out the formula, h plus p k. So I said my h is negative 4. My p-value is this right here. So that's a 2. So there's my hk, or my focus, which then is going to be negative 2, 1. And then my directrix is going to be x equals h minus p. Now notice I'm getting all that from over here. See, my directrix is x equals h minus p. So let's stick some numbers in there. So my h is negative 4. Let's see, my p is 2. So it says minus 2, or x equals negative 6. So that means that's where my line is. So let's move some of this stuff out of here. And when I graph this, just make a real little graph. My vertex is at negative 4, 1. My focus is at negative 2, 1. And my directrix is at negative 6. So then my graph is going to go something like this. Because remember, my focus is going to be in there, and it doesn't cross my directrix, so I'm going to get a parabola that looks like that. So that is it for section 6.1, 3 videos, 6.1a, b, and this one, c.